Hey guys, my name is Jay and today we learn 10 effective ways to save money. Number 1 is budgeting. Every company, every nation sets a budget for itself as to how much money it's going to make in a year, how much money it's going to spend and on what department. It is extremely important to do that on a personal level as well. If there's a single tip which you want to take away from this video, this is the tip. Budgeting. We need to set a budget for a month and stick with it. I personally split my budget into 3 parts. Part 1 is fixed expenses. Here, I list down the fixed expenses which I have to do every month like rent, EMI, grocery bills, utility bills, etc. These expenses most definitely have to be made every month, and that's why a portion of my salary should be blocked against paying these expenses. Part 2 is leisure spends. We earn money to enjoy a good life. We don't want to save each and every penny and take it to our graveyards, right? However, it is important to budget the leisure spends like going out for movies, going out to fancy restaurants, for travel, etc. so that we don't overspend here. Part 3 is investments. We need to have a clear understanding of how much money we want to invest every month and where do we want to invest that money. Now, the most crucial step in budgeting is reconciliation. This step basically helps us realize that whatever goals we had set out with our budgets, did we actually meet them? What happens in this step is that we come across spends which were totally unwarranted and could have been completely avoided. Once I repeat this process of budgeting and reconciliation for a few months, I automatically start seeing areas where I'm overspending and these spends can be definitely reduced. Point number 2 is pay yourself first. Now earlier, whenever my salary used to come, I used to first spend on my fixed expenses, then I used to spend on leisure spends like travel, movies, etc. And then whatever amount was left, I used to save or invest that amount. Then I happened to read this amazing book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, where I learned the technique of pay yourself first. This means that whenever my salary comes in, before making any spend, I first set aside the amount that I've decided to save or invest. By doing this, I'm automatically placing a higher priority on saving and I'm forced to spend only that amount that is left in my salary account. Now, to put this concept in action, I have set a standing instruction against my salary account on the 2nd of every month to set aside a certain sum to a separate savings bank account which I use for my savings and investments. Point number 3 is visual reminder of our financial goals. Now, once we make a budget and a plan, it is possible that we quickly forget about it and don't act on it. Now, if we write down our financial goal that save 20,000 this month and put it in front of our desk or put it in our planner or put it even in the screensaver of our phones, it helps us actively think about this goal and act on it. One method that I found really powerful to make my goals visual is to schedule an email to myself every 10 days. Here is an email which I schedule to myself every 10 days for my YouTube goals. The same can be very easily done for financial goals. This ensures that I have an automated system that keeps reminding me of my goals and keeps pushing me towards achieving them. Point number 4 is not just save but also invest. Saving money is very important. But if we save the money and keep it in our cupboards or deposit in our savings bank account, the value of the money gets eroded due to inflation. For example, the savings bank interest rate is somewhere around 3.5%. Inflation rate is somewhere around 5.24%. So essentially, money in my saving bags gets eroded by almost 2% every year. Here is a video where I discuss in detail that how our money gets eroded even in a fixed deposit. Hence, it is crucial to learn to invest in high-yielding instruments like equity or equity mutual funds that give returns anywhere between 10 to 15%. Point number 5 is get debt-free. There are 2 types of loans or debts. There's a good loan and then there are bad loans. Good loans are loans like your home loan. A home loan is extremely cheap, it is available for a long duration of time and we even get tax benefits on it. A second example of good debt or good loans is student loan. Again, student loans are cheap, we get tax benefits on it and more importantly, a student loan enables me to learn a new skill set and this skill set enables me to earn more money in the future. On the flip side, we have bad loans. Now, bad loans are extremely expensive and more often than not, they are spent on things that rapidly depreciate in value. For example, if I take a personal loan to purchase an iPhone, right? The iPhone in 2 years' time will have absolutely no value in comparison to the price which I've paid for it. Example of bad debt is credit card loans, personal loans, and even car loans. So as a rule of thumb, I'll always avoid bad debt. Even if I have bad debt, I'll work tirelessly day and night into prepaying this bad debt off as soon as possible. In this video, we discuss whether one should prepay their home loans or not. Mind you, home loans are a good form of debt, right? We discuss this concept in a lot more detail and how should one think about it. Point number 6 is track your home loan status. About 3 years back, my family had taken a home loan. At that time, the rate of interest was somewhere around 9.5%. Today, the home loan interest rate is at a historical low of 7%. Does this mean that I continue paying my EMIs as per 9.5% rate of interest even today? The answer is no. The solution is as simple as me writing to my bank and sending them an application of reducing my home loan interest rates from 9.5% to 7%. Banks also reduce the rate of interest because they risk losing me as a customer to some other bank. Mind you that banks will never reduce this rate of interest by themselves because they know that many people like you and I will continue paying their EMIs at a high rate of interest. Even if the home loan interest rate is reduced by 0.5% or 50 basis points, the interest savings are massive. This tip alone will save you a few lakh rupees. So smash that like button if you did not know about this. Point number 7 is tax planning. Tax planning for most of us means saving 1.5 lakhs under ATC. The truth of the matter is, many of us, including myself, are lazy to go and explore other options. Just by putting in a little effort every year, we can save a lot of money on taxes. A few quick tips are as follows. Point A, invest in NPS. NPS is nothing but the National Pension Scheme. Over here, I get an extra exemption of up to 50,000 rupees on my income. Here is a video where we talk about this particular aspect in detail. If I'm staying in a rented apartment, most likely I would be claiming HRA. But if I'm staying with my parents, I can pay rent to my parents and save a lot of tax on it. This is completely legal. It'll probably take you a couple of hours every year and help you save a decent chunk of money. I've added a few links in the description on how to get this done. Point number 3 is health insurance. I can claim tax benefits on the premium that I pay for the medical insurance of myself or my family. This is done under Section 80D. This brings us to point number 8, which is having an accountability partner. Now, if you're in the early stages of building this habit of saving and investing, it is great to have an accountability partner. The idea here is to set your savings goal with your accountability partner and commit to it wholeheartedly. In case you do not meet your goal, there should be a small penalty. This basically puts an instant cost to any inaction against your goal. For example, if you do not meet your savings goal, you will have to pay a penalty of 2,000 or 5,000 rupees to your accountability partner. If you don't want to keep it monetary, you can even keep it something which you don't like. For example, you will have to do 100 burpees or 200 burpees or run for 10 kilometers. You can basically have anyone, your friends, parents, siblings, or even your spouses as your accountability partner. Here is an interesting example of how I use it to achieve my YouTube goals. Basically, I've signed this social contract with my partner and she holds me accountable to the goals which I have set for myself. This same technique can be used for saving or investing. This brings us to point number 9, which is delayed gratification principle. One key tip to save money is to spend less. But maintaining the habit of spending less can be challenging at times. Let's be honest, we feel deprived if we don't purchase something in a massive big sale, or let's say if our friends are going for a fancy restaurant, we can't join them because we have to save money. We feel deprived. Now, one quick hack to basically come against this deprivation is to reward yourself in the present for any action which you do which will help you in the future. For example, if I don't purchase a piece of clothing in a sale, immediately transfer that exact amount into a separate savings bank account and label it as whatever goal you want to achieve. For example, you want to go to a fancy destination for travel. Label that and keep transferring money whenever you take a positive decision of saving money. So basically, you're rewarding yourself and saving up for a goal which has been set out in the future. Here is a video where I talk about the delayed gratification principle in a lot more detail. Point number 10 is do not give up. Like any other habit, saving money is a habit that needs to be developed and it takes time. And I'm sure that you and I both will slip and falter in learning this habit. The idea here is do not give up. In the budgeting and the reconciliation process, figure out where the gap is happening and work on it. It may seem extremely difficult at the start, but with constant practice and with time, it will become effortless like any other habit. Hope you learned something new today with these 10 effective ways to save money. Consider subscribing to my channel for more such relevant content. If you like this video, I'm sure you like this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon in the next video.